Hey there, Voice of the Bench community. This is Trish Jones with Ivaclar. If you've been curious about fast-firing zirconia to improve efficiency, but aren't convinced it can deliver predictable, high-quality results, I'd encourage you to connect with us. Our new IPS Emax zirconia offers multiple fast-fire protocols designed to help save you valuable production time while maintaining consistent results. Time is money in every lab. Don't wait. Reach out to your local Ivaclar rep today and discover how IPS Emax zirconia can help streamline your workflow.
So, Barb, an overdue congratulations are in order.
Oh my God. What did I do now, Elvis?
Didn't you all recently announce the Simply Arch studio?
Yes, we did.
That's awesome. You know that's right up my alley there.
Of course I do, yeah.
And just for anyone who hasn't seen the announcement, what is this Simply Arch thing?
All right, so Simply Arch is our dedicated full arch lab. So it's high quality. Full arch cases are a big part of what we do. And we wanted a team and a dedicated workflow and a production environment built specifically around them.
So basically just no distractions.
Exactly. Just a bunch of full arch nerds doing full arch things.
Oh God, a bunch of nerds. Sounds terrifying.
It's never terrifying, Elvis.
And does a new studio also mean new toys?
Yes. And of course, we recently brought in Xterra Mill as part of the project.
Hell yeah, nice.
Yeah. And then, of course, came the CAM decision.
Here we go, the old CAM decision.
You know, Elvis, we tested a couple options, and of course, we landed on Hyperdent.
Like Hyperdent, just as easy as that, huh?
As easy as that, pretty much. The quality off the machine was excellent, so that means also no hand finishing, and the milling times were excellent also.
You're right, that does make the decision quite easy.
But honestly, what really stood out to us was the testing and implementation process.
How so?
You could immediately tell these guys live in a world of high, complex milling challenges.
That's got to build a lot of confidence.
You know what? It really did, and it really does. They weren't just showing us how the software works. They were advising us on the best way to build an entire workflow for our lab. You could tell they've done it 100 times, guys.
That's a whole new, different level of expertise. Well, congratulations on the new studio, Barb.
Thank you. Hats off to my dad for the studio, so it means a lot to me.
Aww. Welcome to Voices from the Bench, a dental laboratory podcast. Send us an email at info@voicesfromthebench.com and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Greetings and welcome to episode 435 of Voices from the Bench. My name is Elvis.
And my name's Barbara. Good morning.
What's happening, Barb? How are you in the great state of Florida?
Fantastic.
Yeah?
I'm always fantastic.
I love it.
Yeah, life
That's
is
a good way to be.
How are you doing in the lab?
I'm doing pretty good. I mean, it's unique, different, and busy and good, and I love it, and we just got to get busy.
All right. Well, that's like the rest of the world. You got your stress, but we love it. So
Yeah, we
I
do.
wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah. Hey, we just recently recorded a conversation with some fine folks about the upcoming NOAC Dental Supply Lab Fest.
I know that.
It was a great conversation. We're still a few weeks away from releasing it, but Barb and I just want to hype up this amazing event. It's actually happening October 15th to the 17th in New Orleans. Did I say it right?
Yeah, and I think it's pretty awesome because you're going to MC again this year, which I thought it was pretty amazing, but you got to bring it. You got to have a sparklier jacket if that's possible.
I know. I don't know what I'm going to do. I shouldn't have gone so big the first year.
You're so good at that stuff, and I'm happy for you. So Elvis will be doing Family Feud.
Yeah.
And again, 15th to 17th in New Orleans.
Yeah, so last year, amazing lineup of speakers. Oh, the evening events were so fun. And after this conversation, this year's looking even better. And we know it's going to be better because Barb is finally coming this year.
Aw,
And Barb brings it. She's the life of the party.
I'm bringing it. I'm bringing it.
Yeah, so excited for this event.
Yep, let's do it.
So this week, we meet a guy from the UK that wrote a book about our industry, Matt Everatt. At a young age, Matt knew that going into banking really wasn't his thing. So obviously, the only other choice was being a dental technician.
Right?
Duh. He talks about his journey in school, getting into making body parts, which I love it when people do that, and eventually snore devices before snore devices were really a thing. Being an avid writer for the dental magazine, he decided to write a book on our industry and he called it The Invisible Profession.
That's such a great title and so very true.
We get into the whys and how our industry got to where it is and what we can do about it to make it to where it should be today. So join us as we chat with Matt Everatt. Voices from the Bench. The interview. So this is super exciting. A gentleman reached out to me way too long ago and said, "Hey, I wrote a book. Will you give it a listen?" And of course I was like, "A book? I don't want to read, but I'll listen." Because, reading. This is awesome because it's all about the dental laboratory industry. But we're going to get into all of that. Matt Everatt. Is it Matthew?
Officially Matthew, but only my mum calls me that when I'm in trouble.
Yes. Of course
All
it
right.
is. Yeah.
Matt Everatt.
Hello.
How are you, sir?
I'm very good, thanks. And how are you guys?
Yeah, so good. Thank you.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Even when we first recorded, I was like, and Barb, before you joined, I was like, this is the guy that read the book. I hear his voice.
I love it. Yay.
So, Matt, we always like to start off talking about how people got into the industry. So let's not get into the book yet. I want to hear the story and then how the book came about. So lay it down for us, sir.
Cool. Absolutely, yeah. So, 16 years old in my school careers advice session with this lady who I'd done like 2 weeks work experience in a bank in the city centre of Sheffield.
At 16, they let you work in a bank?
Yeah, when at our school's slightly different to your high school and so
Sure.
on. So we finish our main school at senior school at 16, and then we either go to college or we're going to do A levels or
Uni.
whatever. Yeah, uni
Yeah.
comes slightly after. So we do like a 2-week work experience, and usually it's just to kind of test out, if there's an area you like, if you like doing whatever, really. It's just
Sure.
test out what you kind of like doing. Our school was a pretty rough school, in a really rough council area. And so most of the jobs were like working in a garage as a mechanic or working in a shop. And the nice one really was working in a bank. So I'll take that one. Yeah, I'll do 2 weeks in a bank. I don't ever.
So you got to pick it.
You do, yeah. You have to kind of apply. It's like a bit of it's like a pretend kind of work situation. So you apply,
Sure.
and then
Yeah.
someone says, "Yeah, you can have a place. You come for 2 weeks, and you sit
Nice.
there in a bank." And I really enjoyed it. There were really nice people, but what it told me was, I don't ever want to work in a bank.
Yeah. Way too boring, right?
Oh man, yeah. I'm not a numbers person. Never have been. I think I'm slightly numbers dyslexic. I'm sure I am, but no real diagnosis. But there we go. So I went back to this careers advisor and said, look, I have toyed with becoming a physiotherapist, but I'm not too sure. You got a great report from the bank. You should perhaps apply to go and work in a bank. I said, absolutely not. Well, one thing I'm interested in is my sister's best friend is a dental technician. I've got to see.
It's a family member. Just saying.
Yeah. So it looks really interesting. Really interesting. I really love taking things apart and putting things back together and breaking stuff and fixing stuff. And it looks really, really interesting. So I think I'm going to apply to college to do that. And she said, Well, no, you've not thought about this enough. I think it's a terrible mistake, and I think you should go back to have a look at banking. So, what did I do? I went, nah, screw you. I'm gonna apply to dental technology. So I applied to college.
So your sister's friend was already a dental technician, or were they in school for it, or?
So my sister's best friend was her husband was a dental technician.
Oh, nice.
He was a Crown Bridge technician, a fantastic ceramist, and still to this day, he was probably one of the first dental technicians to create a corporate lab. He sold to Bupa, which is a private health company in the UK.
Good for him.
He then is now he exited that, and then he's now set up another lab with another great technician called Promethean. I don't know if you mind me saying that, but
No, not at all.
good bunch of technicians. His name's Steve Osgothorpe. I'll give him a plug because he's the reason I fell into dental technology.
Got into this mess.
Yeah, I got into this. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so that's kind of the history of it and how I got into the career itself. I applied to college. I got really interested I started looking at Max Fax books, maxillofacial stuff. I think in the States you call it anaplastology, right?
Yep.
So
How do you know that, Elvis? You said "yep" like you know. You don't.
It's all about confidence, Barb.
Okay.
Fake it till
I'm
you
gonna
make it.
follow your lead then.
Doesn't mean that is. I do know, but it sounds like I do. No,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I know.
Okay.
So I got in touch with a local hospital and I said, look, I'm really keen to do work experience in the dental lab. And she said, well, this lady there called Liz said, well, it's a maxillofacial lab and we do orthodontics as well. So there'll be, braces and things we make, but we do facial prosthesis, we do artificial eyes, that kind of stuff. Wow, that has got me all over it. I'd love that. So I went and did a work experience placement there, and then I went off to university and did my advanced qualification at the time in Max Fax and orthodontics. And the rest is history, so to speak.
So wait a minute. Before you even went to school, you were making eyeballs and stuff?
Yeah, we're making false ears and eyeballs, and the nipple prosthesis was a fun one.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, weird and wonderful things. And then
how did you learn that? I mean, was there somebody there that just taught you over the shoulder type situation?
Yeah, but then I went to university in Manchester Metropolitan University, and they ran a course there, their degree course on this, so you can specialize in maxillofacial prosthetics. So you do make obturators and dentures and funny, weird, and wonderful appliances. No 2 days were the same. So really interesting.
Sure.
Yeah, really interesting job.
So how long was the schooling?
So you had to do dental technology first, which was a 3-year course, and then then the university at the time was doing a 2-year course, part time. So you had to be in the work placement, and then it was a 2-year part time course in Manchester. So I'd commute there 1 day a week, and fiddle with bits of wire, doing orthodontics and making appliances, and then doing Max Fax stuff. So making false ears and eyes, and then at the time we were making silver cap splints and arch bars for jaw fractures.
Yikes!
So I'm saying, so really cool stuff.
So when you graduated, did you go to work in a lab?
At the time, there was no real commercial lab for Max Fax work, so it was all in hospitals, or mainly teaching hospitals, but there were a few regional units. So I moved very quickly once I qualified down to Guy's Hospital in London, right by London Bridge. It's still there now. I worked in their orthodontic department, so I kind of really specialised then in orthodontics. And through a professor that was there, or he was doing his MSc at the time, a master's, we got involved in sleep apnea appliances. So very, very early on in the UK.
I was going to say, when was this?
Yeah, this is back in 98, probably.
So that
we
was
talked about
really
sleep apnea back then?
Yeah, that was really early.
Yeah, so we were making these just soft bite guards that were welded together, and we were making all sorts of weird and wonderful things. Then we started using Herbst appliances. I don't know if you've heard of them.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah.
Yep.
See, Barb, you just got to sound confident.
I do.
Love it. So we've got the sleep apnea appliances. That was back in the 90s, and then I moved from Guy's Hospital to Cambridge. There's a teaching hospital in Cambridge called Adam Brooks. And that's where my Max Fax career really took off, working with neurosurgeons. And, I was 25 by then. And by that time, I'd reached the ceiling you could ever reach in the NHS. That was the top level you could ever get to, which was very exciting and very cool, but equally very
But
daunting.
then what's next,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah,
Where
Yeah.
do you
exactly
go?
that. Yeah, and life took a bit of a change. I moved back up north, and I moved back into the hospital I came from originally. And you know what they say, never return.
Yeah.
So I
Full
did.
circle.
Yeah, I did. And the guy that was there originally was still there, still plodding on, and it didn't quite. The most stressful part of my day was finding work to do. You know, it was really there was just not enough work to do. It wasn't
Oh,
inspiring.
geez.
And having
Well,
worked
hold on.
in
What do you mean by that? Like work to do. So what was your day like that you
Everybody
wanted?
had their eyes and
No, but
ears and
no, it was just a really so having worked Adam Brooks in Cambridge, the teaching hospital there, we were encouraged to do income generation work. So basically, if we found another department or another hospital, we could do work for. So like
okay.
the titanium cranioplasts, we used to call them skull plates. We'd be making these things for other departments and other hospitals, and making false bits of limbs and fingers and
mm,
stuff like that for different hospitals, and we could then charge making money for the department. So when I moved back north to my old lab in the hospital there, a district hospital, it was like almost work avoidance. They didn't want to do any work for anyone else. They wanted to just plod along, see
Mhm.
it through to retirement. So my day to day looked like I was making soft bite guards, and we managed to get pushed through. We were doing some sleep apnea appliances, so we were making some very rudimentary sleep appliances. But it was very quiet, very slow days, very long days. Um,
mm,
and I suppose the most exciting part of it was when we were doing on call. So you might get called into the ER room for kids falling off the bike and knocking out the teeth and having to make
Aw.
splints to hold the teeth back in, and or there was a prison nearby. Someone gets into a fight, so you might have to make a splint to hold their teeth together and so on. So that was probably the most exciting part. But the day to day was just dull, really. Yeah, and that's when I almost left the profession, and I write about that in the book.
yeah. What did you almost go and do?
Plumbing.
Plumbing.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Come
yeah.
on.
Seriously, yeah. I applied to college, and because the course was that popular, because at the time, back in 2004, probably it was, plumbers were making good money. They were making good money.
Yeah.
So the courses were full. So I didn't even get an interview. So that's when I went knocking on doors and thinking, I can't stay in this job I can't stay in this role. Or it's either gonna, I've got to get out, because this is not what life should be
Yeah.
for the rest of my life. And at the time I was what, 2000, I was 30, 29, 30 then.
Yeah. You found the one job in dental where
I
you weren't busy.
know,
I
right?
know. Seriously, yeah. So I went knocking on doors, and that's when the next sort of avenue started, and that was the push into commercial world.
Yeah. So where'd you end up?
So I
Well, what is commercial world actually before
so
that?
yeah, we refer to so anything in the hospitals is it's hospital work, but we talk about commercial labs being dental labs that are just dental labs, I guess, but we call them commercial labs for some reason. I don't know why we do.
Is it the difference of doing NHS work and non NHS work?
Well, that's a real bone of contention, because
Okay.
yeah,
Wow. Of course Elvis asked that question.
because the labs are not paid by the NHS. They're not employed by the NHS. There are NHS dental practices and there are private practices, and
Mm-hmm.
quite often they're mixed. There are mixed private and NHS.
Yeah.
But labs are not employed by the NHS in any way whatsoever. They don't get any of the NHS benefits, such as the really good pensions that are there. They are just a service provider for usually cheap and quality work. It's
Yeah.
cheaper,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
priced much lower, and it's something that I never wanted to get involved in. So when I started my private orthodontic lab, I just had one price list. This is my price, this is my quality, this is my turnaround times, and if you want it, you can come and get it. And it's a finite resource. It's not infinite. It's if you
Mm.
want it, you can have it. And I think at the time, I was charging really good money for twin blocks and study models and retainers and that kind of stuff, I was charging probably back in the day what some labs are charging less than it now.
Sure.
Yeah. So, yeah. Did that answer your question? Commercial world, I think it did, didn't it?
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, I mean it's kind of weird here in the States because we have private insurance,
Yep.
government insurance, and then no insurance. So
Yeah.
it's kind of. I
Yeah.
mean, it's kind of we have 3 tiers, I guess.
I'm kind of finding my way a little bit with PDAC stuff because we're trying to get a sleep appliance through PDAC through a certain class. It's just it's fun, but
Yeah.
but yeah, that's it. I think our system here is far worse than yours. Your system is much better. I think personally.
I don't know. I think
I'm
we
not
could have
sure
a
we have
whole
a
other
system.
episode
Yeah.
about debating
Yeah.
which is worse.
No doubt.
Not which is better,
Yeah.
but which is worse.
Which is worse.
But we're not going into politics, so
No, let's not do that.
No, of course not. So you ended up working at a commercial lab. What'd you end up doing?
Okay, so this is where it kind of got quite interesting. So I started
Yeah.
knocking on doors, and then I just so happened to knock on this one door that opened, and it was there's a chap who's an entrepreneur, serial entrepreneur called Matthew, and he said, "Look, I'm setting up a dental lab called Solutions for Snoring, and your name's come up. You used to do a lot of work in sleep apnea, right?" I said, "Yeah, I did. Yes. Well, your name's come forward, and I'd quite like to chat to you about, we've got no lab at the minute, that we've got no clients, but we do have an appliance. And we have an appliance. We've got the rights to sell this. It was an Australian device at the time. It was called MDSA. You may have seen it.
I have not.
The inventor was called Bob Bird. And he said, I'm quite keen to chat to you. So I went to see this guy, Matthew, very successful businessman in other industries completely. But he ran and sold one of the first real chain of dental labs. It was a chain called Benchmark. It was acquired by First Dental not long after, well, probably a few years after he exited. They folded. They went under. So it went particularly well after that. But so we set up Solutions for Snoring, and I was the co-founder with him. We had a marketing person. I became a shareholder in the business, and then we started to grow from there. We didn't have a single client. I brought in my private orthodontic work. So I had a few clients doing twin blocks and retainers and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it went from there. 2005, we started a massive marketing plan to become the sleep apnea lab in the UK. 2 or 3 years in, my background's always been in occlusal splints, so I really specialised in occlusal splints when I was working in the hospitals, which is quite unusual for lab techs to do. So we developed. We formed an occlusal splint side to the lab, and I know in the US it's a bit different. I almost ended up working in New York
What?
at a lab. Yeah, this is back when I was knocking on doors. A lab in Nanuet.
Yep.
They offered me a job, and just circumstances family wise, and I got a divorce and stuff. So
Didn't work out, eh?
Didn't work out, eh?
Yep.
Just a little blip. So
I've had a blip. Just saying.
Yeah, we do.
We've all had a blip.
We've had blips. Yeah.
We're better for it, right?
Yep. For sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so we developed the lab, and 3 years in, so 2008, my then business partner, Neil became my business partner, and we bought Matthew out of the business in 2008, and we changed the name to S4S, which it still exists today as S4S. And
what does that stand for?
Well, it was Solutions for Snoring, but then we realized that we're doing a lot more than just snoring devices. So we were making occlusal splints, we were making retainers, and bleaching trays, and orthodontic work. So it was we abbreviated it to S4S, and then fast forward 21 years.
Yep.
I am the first co-founder to exit. I exited in November last year.
No.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
You didn't answer. Did that become the #1 snore device?
Yes, it did. So it did.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
It did. We developed it further. We made it. We made some real good changes, and we manufacture now, because the MDSA completely is gone now. Bob, sadly died a few years ago, and so now
Oh
we make we,
no.
yeah, sadly, but we make our own kind of version now, which is it's made in the UK, the parts, and yeah, it's become probably the best selling
Nice.
mandibular advancement splint there is. I think.
Think how many lives
Good
you've saved.
job.
Yeah, marriages. Yeah, it's
Yeah, marriage.
Life/marriages,
True.
but good job. Like that's amazing.
absolutely, and I think we must have become the kind of biggest independent dental lab because we're not owned by any corporate, we're not owned by any private equity or anything. It was still privately owned, still is. I'm just not an owner anymore. I'm an
I'm
employee.
sure you
I'm an
got
employee.
offers over the years, right?
Yeah, we did. We got offers. Yeah, we did, and
Yeah,
that kind of we had that horrible blip during COVID where everything just went crazy, and
sure.
for me that was like wow, what was I? I'm 50 now. I'm 51 this year. I was like, this is 15 years. Could just could have just gone down the pan.
Mm,
15 years of real hard work. I remortgaged my house. I refinanced my mum's house to run the business, and
wow.
yeah, it was like I can't let this happen. So we kind of that's where I started thinking about really nailing down the exit strategy then.
So why did you decide? I mean, 51 is young these days.
I'll
Yeah,
say.
well,
According to you, Elvis. Fuck off. Like 51's young, period.
I'm not 51 yet.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think because I've always throughout business, I've been involved in multiple different types of business, and I do lots of different things. And certainly, as the last few years of working in the lab, we got a business coach, and we really systemized things and got to a point where there's this famous I use it quite a lot. Working on the business rather than working in the business.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes, I've heard that.
so so that's kind of how I did it. We freed ourselves up to work on the business, and like gave me some more flexibility to do more of the other things I wanted to do. I love writing, so became the editor for the Dental Technician magazine in the UK,
Yeah.
and then write for Laboratory magazine now, which is probably the biggest lab mag we have in the UK. I just love writing. I love writing, and I love hopefully trying to inspire other dental technicians. And I know you said when you mentioned listen to the book, you think, oh god, this is depressing. Well, it's kind of telling a
Yeah.
story, but
We'll talk about that here in a second.
yeah.
I was like, isn't it
Right.
all depressing? Yeah.
No, it's not. No, and
No.
the big thing is, I'm a big believer in you kind of reap what you sow, and you positive mindset's a real big thing, and I write about that quite a lot. In positive mindset, surround yourself with people that want to uplift you, don't bring you down. And it's surprising, you enter a room when there's really inspiring people, and you guys, you visit all the shows and so on.
Oh
You
yeah.
feel it, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
You can walk into a room and you just feel the buzz, the energy. You really feel it, and it's not, it's not wacky stuff. It really is. You feel the energy, and you feel the uplifting spirit. And spending so many years certainly in the hospitals, in some of them, where it's like you're a dental technician, keep your head down, just crack on a
Yeah.
bit. Dentist is your boss. You don't answer back to them. You do the work, and if you say jump, you say how high.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah.
I don't want to live my life like that, and I never did as a dental technician. And this is where again, my writing kind of says that I'm part of your team. I'm on board with you. I'm your clinical partner. I'm going to make your patients' lives and your patients' experience so much better if we work together.
100%.
Yeah.
So how did you get into writing? I mean, you mentioned the magazines. Is that where it started?
Yeah, it turns out I've got quite a bit to say. um,
Give it
so,
up.
yeah, sometimes I don't doubt that I sometimes perhaps rub people up the wrong way a little bit because
Yeah.
I do. I'm not scared of putting my head above the parapet.
Yeah.
We have the General Dental Council here that kind of look after us, and they're our regulatory authority. And I've had my battles with them. We're losing technicians left, right, and centre. Year on year, the numbers are declining.
Mm-hmm.
The regulation gets harder, yet illegal manufacturing is just allowed to happen. It's just brushed under the carpet. It's all fine. dental lab. As long as you don't call yourself a dental technician, you can do whatever you like, really. So I've been the one that has put my head above the parapet, and I've spoken out on things. So that's kind of how a lot of my writing started. But then I've done a lot more on business. I started an MBA a few years ago. In fact, just before COVID, and a master's of business. And it turned out that one of the tutors, I think, just kind of said, you're doing all right in business. So I only got halfway through the program, and I decided to pack it in. It got really tough as well. It got really like forensic accounting and stuff like that. It's not for me. But the
had flashbacks to working at the bank for 2 weeks.
Bean counting. Yeah, no, it's not. Yeah, so I really enjoyed the kind of business strategy, the business marketing side of it. That's great. Love that.
Yeah. So what? I mean, you started writing articles about business in dental labs?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So
which probably not a lot of people were doing.
Absolutely. I think you had Ashley Byrne on the show once. I think
100%.
Yeah. So Ash and I, he's a good guy. He's a great guy and great business as well. And I think Ash and I we write lots of business articles. So there's probably us two that do write more about business in dental labs than anyone else. I think. But you share very good similar values. Systemizing things, paying people right, educating people right, bringing them on as part of the team. They're not just employees; they're part of the team. They're part of the family. It's that real positive mindset.
So when did you decide to tell this story that you wrote?
Well, again, because I've got banks and banks of articles that I write, and I'm a very, very early riser. It's been bred into me, I think, from my childhood. My mum and dad they ran pubs, and they just worked really hard.
Yeah.
So I was always an early riser. So I often wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. What I do is I've got a big phone. It's like it's almost a mini tablet. I sit and write some notes, and I might write an article. I might write a piece that I'm thinking about, or even write a few things and come back to it at some point. And more often than not, by 7 o'clock when everyone's waking up, I've written a full article. Like, wow, that's good. It's all good. That's my work. My work's done. I can do other stuff now throughout the day.
Yeah.
So I started doing that, and then when I decided to write a book, we've got a place overseas in Lanzarote, which is in the Canary Islands. It's a very small island, beautiful place. And I'm thinking, do you know what? I've spent the last 2 days doom scrolling on Facebook and social media, and I've not been working, but I've just wasted 2 hours of a morning.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yes, you do. Totally do.
Oh my word! How much?
Yeah,
we spend so much time.
We have no idea. Yeah,
it's terrible, isn't it? So I thought, do you know what? I'm gonna be really determined to write something a bit more for me. To do something for me. It might be a series of articles. It might be something else. And I sat having coffee with my wife. We have a coffee in the morning before the kids get up, and
of course you do, because you're normal.
Yeah,
I love coffee.
We have to have 2 coffees in the morning. It's like kind of our ritual there before anyone can speak to us. And then
I don't talk to anybody without a coffee. It's beautiful.
You can tell what episodes we record before.
Oh yeah, I know.
Absolutely. Oh well, we've gone to a point now where we've gone for a bean to cup machine. It grinds. It's we're really spoiled now. We can't drink instant coffee anymore.
Oh, of course not.
Oh,
yeah. God no, Jesus.
Yeah. So I sat there having a coffee with my wife, and amongst a million things that I've said to her, and she gets to a point now where I just get this kind of like eye roll. I don't get any, it's not disappointment. It's not like anything else. It's just like, okay, Matt, yeah, cool. I'll run with it. I'll help you, whatever you need. So I said,
yeah,
I'm going to write a book. she looked at me. She gave me a proper eye roll this time. It was like, really?
Here we go again.
It really? No, I'm gonna do it. All right. I thought, do you know what? and I've got my favorite number is 15 for some reason. I think I'm born on the 15th of October, so 15.
Mm-hmm.
15. I thought my favorite books. I'm not a big reader, believe it or not. My favorite books.
Interesting.
That's why I like reading articles. I like to read small books. So like
Yeah.
Mel Robbins' 5 Second Rule, one of my
Yeah.
favorites. Simon Sinek, Start with Why.
Oh, he's so good.
Oh,
Yes, yes,
amazing.
yes.
So all these short books, I'm not good with big books. So I thought I'm going to write a short book that I would like to read. Someone else might fancy reading it, perhaps. I don't know. And I'm going to write it about our profession. And I'm going to set myself 15 weeks to do it. So like 15. And I'm going to do it in
Why?
15.
Why 15?
Well, just
Favorite
the
number.
number 15. Yeah, just like it works
Okay.
for me. Yeah.
Right.
So yeah,
You
don't
got to put a goal in there sometime, because
yeah,
if you just say you're going to write a book, it could be 15 years. You know?
exactly. Yeah. So and I need do you know I need deadlines, and I'm very hyper focused when I've got an idea. I hyper focus, completely hyper focus. So I thought, right, I'm going to write a book, and I'm going to do it in 15 weeks, and guess how many chapters it's got?
15.
15. It's actually probably got 17, but I don't know.
Okay.
I don't name them 17. No, it's got 18 because it's got a foreword and an introduction and then an afterword.
Those don't count.
Yeah, so they don't. It's got 15. So I thought I'll write one chapter every week. How difficult can that be? Because it's I write for the magazine and I write articles usually in a couple of hours. So my hyper focused mind, I'd finished it in about 10.
Wow.
10 weeks?
About 10
Wow.
weeks. Yeah. And,
Yeah.
and then I thought, well, it can't be very good if I've written it that quick. So I kind of sat on it for probably a week, and I thought, I'm going to read it. I'm going to read it myself. So I read it myself, and I thought, that sucks. It's terrible. So I'm going to have to rewrite. I'm going to
We're our own
rewrite.
worst critics.
Yeah, I'm going to have to rewrite this. So I went back in and restructured things a little bit and rewrote a few chapters. And I thought, you know what? It's very limiting if I write it just for dental technicians, because this is a bit of a book for anyone, like physiotherapists, for hygienists, for sound engineers. The guy who doing the sound engineer from when we did the audiobook, he went, "Oh my word!" He went, "This is like it's written for me." But
Yeah.
Aw.
as a sound engineer, but
It's whoever falls into the title.
exactly, yeah. So so the before you start kind of thing, I kind of lead that by saying this could be, it's written from a dental technician's perspective, but it can be for anyone. For anyone that feels that way, where you feel like you're not respected, you're not part of the team, you feel left out, you're pushed on price all the time. It doesn't need to be like that. That can change. That doesn't need to be the way. That's not our history. It might be the history, but it's not where we don't have to be there all the time. We don't have to stay there. So
But I mean, writing the book, like, how did you ask yourself those questions that enabled you to answer them in the book?
that's a great question. Well, do you know what? There were a few things I think that I started to build from it, which were articles I'd already written, and some of it was on. One was called "The Busy Fools."
Oh, I love that. Why'd
Yeah,
you call them fools?
it's just a term. It's a term we use in the UK. It's when someone you kind of compete on price. You
Yeah.
do your best to. Yeah, I've won this client, and you're working you're working your ass off. And when you look at it, what you've took away from it, you've been a busy fool,
Was
right?
nothing.
Mm.
Yeah.
So I'm a ceramist, just so you know. So I'm at the bench all day, every day, and I love that because I
Yes.
kind of feel like a dipshit some days. Like it's bullshit. Like
Are
all
you a
these,
busy fool, Barb?
yeah. I mean, I resonate with that. That's why I'm
So
asking
it
that.
doesn't necessarily mean because you head down at the bench. That
Yeah,
it doesn't necessarily mean that, because that's different. That's kind of like
That's working.
we need all sorts of people in business, right? So again, one of the chapters in the book is I need 10 of me. I don't know
yeah.
if you remember that chapter,
I need
Elvis,
to
but
Yeah, I do.
yes.
yeah,
So
I walked into a meeting with our business advisor, a business coach. Sorry, we had a business coach. We were probably one of the only dental labs at the time to hire a business coach. We got some funding from the local council that said, "Hey, do you want
yeah,
a business coach for
so
free?"
good.
Like, yes,
Yep.
please. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this guy, I was running around and I was late for this meeting, and I hate being late. I am the one who turns up 25 minutes early, annoyingly.
Mhm.
Not
Uh,
me. I'm always
Yeah, not Barb.
on time. Just saying, right on time, not
well,
late.
Right on.
Right on time.
so me and my wife are the same. We arrive at people's houses like an hour early when they're still cooking and things. So I was late for this meeting, and I was flustered. Phone calls, dentist complaining, staff issues. I've got lab work to do, and I come into this meeting. And I'm so sorry. I just need another 10 of me. And he just laughed, this guy, and it wasn't a nasty laugh. It was like a "you're right" kind of thing. And he said, by the time the meeting finished, you don't need 10 of you. You need to be able to give up something. Find out what's the easiest thing to give up first. And sometimes you just have to accept that whatever it might not be quite your level, but it's acceptable and it's good enough. That just sometimes has to be, because if you want to start growing your business, and if you want to get to a point where the business is not reliant upon you, you're going to have to start giving things up. And you don't need 10 of you. Can you imagine what business would be like if there were 10 of you?
No,
It'd be
man,
horrendous.
we would go out of business if
Oh,
there was
we would.
10 of me. I'd take over. Seriously,
Bob's
there'd be
asked me.
no like, like seriously. But okay.
So if there were 10 of me, we'd have gone bankrupt probably for the first year, because I'd have been buying all the new tech, and I'd been
Yep.
pissing
Exactly.
on. Yeah.
Yep. You're my kindred spirit. Just saying. Yeah, it's tough.
Absolutely.
So you mentioned earlier that I messaged you after I listened to the book that I found the beginning depressing.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And that comes from you just explaining how we got to where we are.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah.
And what really hit me is that there were a million little things that happened to get where our industry is today.
Yes.
I mean, you could say this company X did this or this lab did this, but it's not true. It's everybody just doing a million things
Yeah.
to put us in this position where we're all fighting for price.
Yeah.
And it's a struggle, and we're all being busy fools, and it's kind of depressing. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. I think that story needed to be told. I think
It did.
Yeah. I
You
think.
set it up to
Yeah.
swing the other way. I mean,
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. I think if you think about it, when dentists became dentists, they were barber surgeons.
yeah,
They weren't highly skilled people. They weren't clever people. They were just doing stuff. And the way the industry split at the time, we were the artisans, we were the creative ones, we were the jewelers, the metal workers, the real gifted craft people.
yeah.
Yeah. But then, like say, a million little things slotting into place that becomes this. We start, grinding away at things and competing on price, and then someone splinters off from one lab to another one, and then they just don't think about business. They don't think about what it costs to supply a crown. They just go, well, he's doing it for $20, I'll do it for 19.
Yeah.
And that's kind of that was the industry I grew up in back in the 90s, where it was like that. Technicians didn't let other lab technicians into their labs. That's just wasn't done. Whereas now we're so much more open. If you wanted to go and see Ashley Burns' lab, he'd go and show you around. He'd take you around. He'd show you everything they do, and
We're almost more than just open. We're almost supportive.
yes,
I
We
mean,
are supportive.
that's a whole other level than
Yeah.
just I'll let you come and look around. No, I'll help you if I need to, if I can.
absolutely, yeah. And like your podcast, for instance, that's a great great vehicle for it as well, where you speak to other people and sharing stories and sharing ideas. Absolutely, visiting
It's the
shows.
only reason the podcast can exist because people are willing to talk about it.
Yeah.
If it was done in the 90s, nobody would come on.
Yeah, no doubt. So true.
Seriously, yeah,
Yep.
seriously, yeah. I got honestly, I remember I went to see a friend's lab back in the 90s, and I remember getting there and literally being held at the door by the lab owner, like, you're not coming in. I'm like,
Oh yeah.
what?
Yep. I'm coming in, and you're getting out of my way, motherfucker. And I don't care what the hell you have to say about it. But we're
Absolutely.
going in now.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I,
sorry about that.
I did have the pleasure of kicking him out of our lab once
I
when
bet you did.
yeah.
I can tell you did by the tone in your voice. Yeah, so that was then, and this is now. Now,
Yeah.
definitely everybody opens their doors and we're all sharing, but it doesn't necessarily mean that like we're better. I sometimes worry about us being better.
Do you know, do you think it's a funny, I'll turn the question around to you guys. It's a funny
Yeah,
time, right? And I guess
yeah.
it's the same in the US as it is in the UK.
Hmm.
We've got this massive influx of AI that's just kind of happened in the last 18 months, which is just incredible.
True. Yep.
The influx of digital dentistry now, 3D printers, and the materials are just incredible. We're at a real kind of turning point, I think, in the profession. And I don't mean it. I don't think it's the end of labs.
No,
Don't
in
get
no
me at
way.
all.
Yep.
No, no, no.
Great.
But we're changing. We're changing, right? And I think there's a great opportunity for the labs that are agile and move with it. And I think the ones that have gone, oh, I'm not going to do digital just now because I've only got 5 years left. Well, they're
Mm.
toast already.
There's no way. I don't
Yeah,
know how you
Mm.
couldn't.
Yeah, let's be honest. The book does kind of move towards a positive light,
yes,
right? I mean,
absolutely, yeah.
you do have some very positive things to say about the direction we're heading and what people can do to improve on everything.
Absolutely, yeah, yeah. And I think it starts with being being known for something, right? And not just being that dental lab because you're the cheapest or you're the in proximity you're the closest. It's being known for something, whether that's the dentist knows they can pick a phone call up from you, and or you can pop into the practice to help discuss an implant case that's really difficult. Um, it's kind of be first in front of their mind when they think, oh, I've got this real difficult case today. I'm going to phone Jim. He's great. He's coming. Let's have him. Let's get him in the surgery. We've got to have him here doing this work. It's been that. That's kind of like where we've got to start, and then it moves on from that. Things like price and time. We all know every day. I bet you've had it already today. You get get someone calling from practice. Well, we need this tomorrow, really, and we can't pay that price for that. No, we've got to hold the line on that one.
Yeah, I had a call from an office today. They wanted something back tomorrow. I was like, really?
Yeah, you can capitalize on that somewhat. I mean, in terms of when we opened up our London-based lab, so the main lab is in Sheffield, and then we opened up the London-based lab for one main reason. The biggest, or should I say, that the clients that were kind of the ones that we had to jump through hoops for were generally the ones down in the southeast, near in London.
Mm-hmm.
Very London centric. Everything evolves around London, and their clients are often some of them flying from overseas to get treatment. So when they want their retainer, they want it that afternoon. So we set up a service where you could have that.
Mm-hmm.
You can send a
Yeah.
scan by 11 o'clock. We can send a courier around by 5 o'clock, and you'll have the retainers there. It will be first class service, but you're going to pay for that.
Yeah, you have to charge a lot,
You pay a premium for that, and that's good revenue, and you're not busy fools. Then you're doing it on your terms.
Yeah. A lot of people take advantage of that.
Absolutely, yeah. Think
Yeah.
think about the world we live in with Amazon Prime, where
Oh, yeah.
when I've made a buying decision, because I'm a bit like that, I want it tomorrow. I want it now actually, but if I can get it tomorrow, that'll do. And I think patients are getting more like that. So they've made a decision to have their veneers done, or they want tooth whitening done. They want to start straight away. They've committed.
Mm-hmm.
They've got the money there. They want to do it. So they want it now. So if they can start treatment that afternoon or tomorrow, great. There's going to be an Amazon Prime charge for that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody could open up any business without offering Amazon like delivery. I mean, you just can't. I mean, you can't compete. I mean, it's part of the norm in our culture now.
It is. It's cultural now. It really is, and that's
Yeah,
that's come in the last 2 years probably.
yeah, it really has. So, what's next for you, Matt? Are you gonna write another book, part two, follow up?
Oh,
What's the plan? Keep with the magazine?
I think I've probably got another book in me, but not just yet.
I get you.
Yeah,
How do you know you want to write a book? Like, that's got to be a lot of work.
You got to sit down with your wife
Are
over
you like
coffee.
sitting across the thoughts and be like, I'm going to write this and I'm going to write that? Like, how do you even know you want to write?
I write lots. I think I just do. It's something I do regularly, and it's
Do
not. I
you
don't know.
journal or do you write?
I write. I tend to write small articles. I tend to write, little type essay type articles that if I've got an idea, I put it down on paper. Sometimes I never even use them. I've got files on my desktop that on PC that stuff I've never written. I've never published. It's just something's written. It's an 800-word piece, and if something comes up, but what I tend to do is I forget I've written it.
And you're
So
like,
that,
shit.
yeah,
You ever go back a bit like, who wrote this? This is
yeah,
good. Oh wait, it's me.
yeah, absolutely, yeah. Did one a couple of weeks ago, and the reason I wrote it, I wrote. So I'm involved in a business angels investment group, and I went at kind of a meeting there, and we got talking, and sat around this table, and how most of the people in there are real techie AI coding
Oh,
guys
God.
who've yeah,
Yes, we know.
they've exited their businesses, but they've done exceptionally well with it. And we sat there and we got talking about blockbusters. You had blockbusters in the US. I think you probably did.
Yes.
The
Well, we
DVD
did.
DVD rental places.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought, you know what, that's going to make a great article. So I wrote it down on my phone. So the next morning, I wrote an article. Said, "Don't be blockbusters. Don't be Love Film either. You want to be Netflix."
Wow.
So I framed the whole article around that, about how Blockbuster, and it was all about where we are now with dental technology. So the reason I pulled it together was I won't mention names, but it's a very large lab that are doing everything digital, giving away scanners and winning clients by you set up a subscription type thing. And they're changing the face of the dental lab market for sure. And we can't ignore them. And I talked about blockbusters, that we'd think we'd call it blockbusters. We're going to pop to blockbusters to hire a DVD.
Mm-hmm.
And then when Love Film came in, they were really agile. They did the right things. And I don't know if you knew, but they, as well as posting out DVDs and things, they were quite a big European company. They started an online streaming program. So they were kind of pre-Netflix.
Yeah. Wow.
But then Netflix bought them out, and Netflix is now what we see,
Yeah. What it is.
yeah, what it is now. So I've built the article around that. Yeah, so that's kind of very random how I find things sometimes. I thought that would make a great article. I'm going to pull that together. So I made a note, and then the next morning I wrote something.
And is it going to be published? Has it been
It has
published?
been,
Will it?
yeah, it's been published. It's out on LinkedIn, and it's on dentistry.co.uk. It's on their website. So yeah, if you
Nice.
search my name, search Blockbuster, you'll find it.
Nice. I'm going to check it out. Do you have an audio version where you read it?
I don't, but
I don't want to say I'm lazy, but
it's only a small one, like Elvis. It's only probably a 2 or 3 minute read. It's not long.
I still need you to read it.
I did too, actually.
Absolutely. Well, so you asked me what's next. Ugh. So so I'm involved in a few other bits and bobs of business wise. I'm involved in a dental nurse recruitment business. That's more of a I'm more of a shareholder now. The business is working really well and doing really well. But I'm kind of living my time with the kids, and we travel when we can. I love my racing. I became a racing car driver 3 years ago.
Oh, geez. Wow.
So I race very badly, by the way. Not good.
Oh.
that is before good. Just saying.
No, but it's great fun. But,
You can't do anything that you love unless you're bad at it at first.
well, exactly. Yeah, you've got to put the hours in. Another great book.
Sure.
What's
There you go.
Matthew Syed one? Where he talks about 10,000 hours. You've got to do something for 10,000 hours before you become
Great.
proficient at it. I think that's very, very true of dental technicians, right?
Very true.
Yeah, I won't be quiet. I'm not retiring, and I'm not hanging up my boots just yet.
I think we're going to hear a lot more from you. I think you're going to start popping up more
Same
in the
here.
U.S.
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
this book you wrote, The Invisible Profession, anybody in our industry needs to read it or listen to it. Like we mentioned, it's Audible, and you read it yourself.
Yeah.
It's a great story. And even though there's a lot of NHS talk in it and a lot of UK, you replace a few words, NHS with just dental insurance, and it's the same story
Same
Yeah,
over
thing.
here.
sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's not a lot of books out there about what we do, and it's kind of cool to hear that story, the perspective, and the hope for the future. And I love it, man. And there'll be a link on this episode show notes for sure for people to get it on Amazon, because that's how we need it right away. It's Amazon.
Absolutely.
We go right back to Amazon, but whatever.
Good. We should get some. Yes, you should get some advertising for Amazon. That's give him lots, don't we? Right?
Yeah. Thank you for writing it. Thank you for doing it, man.
Thank you for saying that as well. And that's been. I don't think it's going to make me a millionaire by any stretch, but I've had 2 people so far review it, and both have said. One of them was a guy called Giles, and he said it was like the words was just you were bouncing through the words in my brain. It's like, oh my word, this is where I've been. And he said,
we've all seen it, we've all lived it.
Yeah, and then
it's good to read it.
A lady called Sue wrote the second one and said, not only have I think it's a great book, it's a nice short read. The Audible's only like an hour and 20 long. She said, I've made changes already in my business, in my dental lab, which is like, boom, that's amazing.
Yeah.
If I don't sell another one, that's great for me. Love that. Brilliant.
Make a difference.
Absolutely love that. Yeah.
I love it, man. Well, Matt, thank you so much.
No,
thanks for coming on to tell your story and, again, sharing this book with me that I hope everybody gets a chance to read or listen to. It's good stuff.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Bob's, I will send you I'll send you both. I'll send you guys
everything. He's like in the know.
I'll send you an Audible link, but I'll also send you guys a hard copy. If you send me your details, I'll send you a hard copy as well.
You going to sign it?
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. It might be
famous.
It might be worth all of $2 after that.
Hey, man. Take it.
Thank you. So good.
Well, thanks again, Matt. We appreciate it.
Oh, appreciate it. I do have to say, guys, I don't know when this will go live, but good luck tonight. Well, the US are playing soccer.
I know.
Oh, one of those.
They're playing at 1 a.m. our time. I'm not going to watch it, I'm afraid, but I wish you all the luck in the world. I was watching it. I was watching England last night, so I've done one all-nighter already. I've not slept for about 30-odd hours.
Okay. Well, go USA. Thank you.
Go USA. Go
okay.
USA.
Awesome.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, guys.
I appreciate it, sir. Yep. Have a good one.
Have a good
you
one.
too. All the best.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
A huge thanks to Matt for coming on the podcast to talk about your journey up to writing the book, The Invisible Profession. And we kind of are. I really appreciated your term, busy fools, because so many of us in our labs are doing extra unnecessary steps every day and really not focused on what matters. So head over to Amazon, you guys, pick up The Invisible Profession, or get the audio version read by Matt himself. And that's pretty awesome. It's a story shared by everyone in this industry, and we can all make it better together. Stronger together. Let's do it.
Stronger together. Love it. All right, everybody. That's all we got for you. And, of course, we'll talk to you next week.
Have a great week, y'all. Bye. See ya.
What?
The views and opinions expressed on the Voices from the Bench podcast are those of the guest and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the host or Voices from the Bench, LLC.
It doesn't work, babe.